Let's come to another edition of the isometric drawing. We are going to look at how to draw circles and arcs within isometric figures. Now, let's learn how to draw this, converting these circles or arcs to isometric form first, so that before we give you a figure which have circles and arcs within them, and how you go about it. Now, we are going to look at three methods. The first method I'm going to look at is the American method, or some people call it 4-point method, some people call it compass method, meaning that it uses compass in getting this isometric form. Now, how do you go about it? When the figure is being given to you, look at the circle within the figure, then spot the diameter of that figure. Always in this method, you use the diameter in doing that. If you have been given radius, then you need to multiply it by what? 2. If you have been given a quadrant, you should know quadrant form how many what. Now, you should know the exact radius or the diameter of the figure first before you can do this method. Now, they said that we should use diameter of what? 50 millimeters to construct the isometric circle. Now, how do you go about it? You first measure your what? Your 50 millimeters. Now, this is my base line. I'll just use my rule and measure my 50 millimeters. After measuring the 50 millimeters, you need to construct an angle of 30 degrees at both sides. Someone can choose to use the 30 degrees set square in doing that, or the person can choose to use the compass in constructing it. Anyhow you go about it, you still arrive at the same answer, because it's an American method. Like, let's use, because I've been using, so that when we read the other method, I'll use the what? The set square. Now I'll construct my 30 degrees here. And how do I get the 30 degrees? By drawing my semicircle. After that, this one will give me my 60 degrees. So how do I need to bisect the 60 into 2 to get to my what? 30. Just stand here, construct, then stand on the 60. Then I've gotten my 30 degrees. This is my 30 degrees. Then I'll do the same thing to the other side of the end of the line, the diameter what? Line. Stand here, construct my semicircle, then on the 0 of semicircle, I'm getting my 60 degrees. From here, I'll stand on the 0 to bisect the angle 60 into 2 to get my what? 30. I've done it. Also 30 degrees. Where the two line, the angles meet, you project it to get, we have gotten a triangle, we need to get another triangle down here. Means that here is an isometric form. We do the same thing by measuring one side of it to where the two meet. They meet at this point. Then I'll draw my what? My arc. And stand on the other side and measure it. Then tells you where the two arc meets will give me the down side of it. It tells you that here too the angle is also what? 30. Here too the angle is also what? 30. That's why I don't waste my time to do that. I just transfer the top side to down one by measuring their side. After getting this, what you are just going to do that you have four side. Bisect. You are coming to bisect any two sides of it, either the top side or the down side. If you choose the down, you can do that. You can choose the top. To bisect any two sides of the four sides out of the four sides. So for example, I'm choosing the down side. The down side, I've opened more than half of my line. Then I'll construct my arc, construct another arc. Then go and stand on the other side of the line. Then I've gotten it. And I'll do the same thing to here. Where the two arcs meet, then you join them to cut the line. You bisect it. I have point 1, point 2. Where it cuts, if you bisect, if you use this and this side, mean that to cut, one will be cutting here and one will be cutting this side. But I use the bottom one. Where it cuts, now this and this point will be joined to the apiece. But if you bisect the top one, mean that the top one will be joined to the downward apiece. You take note of that. So now we are going to join them to the apiece. Okay, and this one too. Now you have joined to the apiece. So from here, what do you do? Where it cuts the diagonal line. Now when I join from the apiece to the point, the bisection, this is where it cuts the diagonal line. Here to this where it cuts the diagonal line. And on the diagonal line, then I will join the bottom one to cut or to touch the top one. So this is the bottom apiece, where it cuts the diagonal point. And this one too, on the apiece, where it cuts the diagonal line. Okay. Then now I can go and stand on the intersection of where the two apices meet. Now where the diagonal point, this is one and this is another one. So I'll place my points on where the two meet on the diagonal point. Then I'll open it to mark that missing from the point. Then I will draw my, let me change the color. let me change the color of the marker so that I can see the isometric circle. Change the marker to a different color. You see? Listen. Then I'll come and stand at the bottom side to open it and check to where here and here that they need to what match. Listen. Then I'll come and stand on where the diameter line where it matches. Check this side and the point 2 side. Then I'll join them. And then lastly, I'll go to the top epice, then open it too. Then blend the two. Then I've gotten my isometric circle. This is the isometric, mean that from here to here is 50 millimeters, which is the diameter of the circle. Mean that in the actual sense, when you measure the 50 millimeters, it has been squeezed to become in the egg form. This is the isometric circle. Let's see that we are using the American method. This is how it will look like. You can try that, and you can change the values of the diameter and use it to construct by following the same principle. Now let's look at another method, which is, we call it the diagonal method. Example 2 or method 2. Construction of an, okay, let me use the example 1 question. Here I'll just change it to make it method 2. Then change by using, okay, isolated using the diagonal method. We are going to use the same diameter with the diameter of this one, the same thing, 50 millimeters. For this method, the first thing you need to draw, you do the same thing by drawing your your diameter line. Then after that, what do? You need to bisect the line into two. You need to bisect the line into two. I'm going to bisect the line into two. I need to join my rule to form the long pattern. Okay. Now I've got my center. Oh, I can just use it to draw my what? Circle. Or through that, I can just use to draw a square out of it. A square out of it. I can draw my perpendicular line and form, or stand on the center to draw my circle. Then after that, I'll draw my square out of it. Center. From here, I can draw my square out of it. I'll draw my perpendicular lines. Here, get it. I got it with a rule. Get my square out of it. I can just use this side as my line. My ruler lining. Then it. Do this one the same thing. My ruler lining. Use this one as my gauge line. Draw my line. Do the same thing. I need to extend this line. Then I can just use this side as my ruler lining and inject it. Then now I can use the ruler to extend it. Got it. sides. Okay. Okay. Or you can go by this method by based on the diameter given, then you construct your 90 degrees or use the set square 90 degrees, draw a parallel line, perpendicular line which is parallel to each other. Here from here you see 50, yeah, you measure what 50, you measure 50, then you what you join it. Then you divide the 50 into 2 and do the same thing. Then you get your center to draw your what? Your circle. Any of them that you go by it. Since now I've gotten my square, what will I do? I will join the diagonals. You join the diagonals to pass through the what? The center. Join the diagonals. Join the diagonals. Now I've joined the diagonals. After joining the diagonals, I'm going to divide them. I'm going to divide them, the circle. I'm going to divide the circle according to the way I want. I can choose to divide them depending from here to here is 25. From here to here is 20. I can divide them 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. I can choose to divide them 10, 10, 10, 10. Depending on how you want it. The number of division that you do, the same thing you're going to apply it here. If for example you are using 5, 5, 5, you do the 5, 5, 5. If you are using 10, 10, you can do the 10, 10. Now, depending on how you want to use the distances, I want to use maybe 10, 10. Now, if I want to use 10, I can choose to use this one. This is 10. This is another 10. Let me use the 5. The 5 is better. 5, 5, 5, 5. Another 5, 5, 5, 5. Then I'll do the same thing down there. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. Then I'll join them. Okay, I'm joining them. Joining them. Have you seen I divided 5, 5, 5? Someone can do it 10, 10, 5, or 5, 10, 5, 5. Depending on how you do the left hand side, you do the same thing to the right hand side, and they should be in an equal distance from each other, so that when you are doing the transfer, you will get the exact work. Now I've numbered here. Here is what? My 1. Here is 2, 3, 4. Here become my 0. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here become what? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and here become my what? 10. Means that I'm going to transfer this to get my isometric circle. Now I come to the isometric circle. To look at it, how do I go about it? You construct, you get your reference line as you are doing the isometric circle. Get your reference line. Okay. After I've gotten my reference line, I'll use my set square, or I can construct an angle of what? 30 degrees as one side. I want to use the set square. From here, I've chosen the reference point here. So I'm constructing my 30 degrees till here. Since here, I can choose to use this place as my reference ruler line to place it on the line exactly. Listen, I've placed it. It's giving me the exact angle. And here, I can construct my 30 degrees inclined plane. Then here I can extend it. Then my perpendicular line, I will use this side, my reference. This one I can extend it top. For this method, if you don't do this, you can't get it. This is my reference point. Here, the angle here is what? 30 degrees. This is the reference line. It is sitting on it. So if it was a figure, I would do another 30 here, but because it's isometric circle, that's why we are doing one side. Someone can choose to do the reference and draw the angle at this side. You know, the 30 degrees will come this side. You know how you go about it. You still get your work. For me, I'm doing my work at the right hand side. Someone can choose to do the work isometric circle on the left hand side. To take note of that. From here, why do I do? What was the diameter? 50. Meaning I'll do the same thing 50 by measuring what? 50. Here I'll measure my my 50, or I can go and pick the the 50 from 0 to 10, or I can measure my my 50. From here I'll stand on where the reference, the mark, and do the same thing on the inclined plane. Where it meets, then I'll take my reference, because this line should be perpendicular to this. Then I'll measure my my 90 degrees, or the power line. Okay, this place will give me the exact correct based on my reference. I can use the square to extend it. Since from here to here is 50, here also need to go 50. Oh, it is above, it need to clean it and lower it down. I need to clean it and lower it. Now I'm consulting my reference line. Starting my 30 degrees. I can do my vertical section first. Vertical section is my 90 degrees. Then I pick my 30 degrees angle. Picking the reference exactly. Now the angle here is 30 degrees. Now I can measure my 50 as it is. Yes, 50. Then I'll cut it on the vertical line. Yes. It means I need to extend the line to meet the axe. Watch it. I hope you are practicing, you are watching and practicing it. Then do this one. Now where it cuts, or this line is supposed to be what? Para. And the one here and here too also need to be what? Para. I can choose use the set square in doing that, or I can choose to what? Use the what? The rule and the what? The set square. So for example, I'm using the rule and set square. I'll place the rule on the reference line to give me exact. Then I'll place the set square. Listen, what I've gotten. Then it tells me that here, because from here, this is it. Okay, then I'll transfer it. And I need to stick your hand on the rule. With it, stick the hand on the rule. Then I'm transferring it. The moment the rule shape, you won't get the perpendicular line. Then I'm transferring it to this side. Okay. Now I can draw mine. By extending it up. I can measure my 50 millimeters. Let me cut my 50 millimeters. Now, where they meet, what do? When you have it, then you join it to the other side. Then what do? Listen, you have the diagonals. You join the diagonal to diagonal. Diagonal. Listen, the diagonal may have the intersection. That is, oh, that's where they're coming to divide how many? We did 5, 5, 5. That's the same thing that we're going to do. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. Here we are going to divide it. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. Do the same thing to the top side. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. The last one, 5. Then we join them to each other, top to down. Now joining them, the second, returning them to join the third to third, fourth to fourth, and the center to center. And then the sixth, okay, continue joining them. We do the next one, the last one. Okay, they are done. So here you can name them 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, as it was. Now here, because what is the distance from here to here is 25. So let's bisect it. 21st made 25. 25. And another one, 25. Okay. So I can get the center. Now this is my 0 and this is my 10. So when you look at here, I'll put a dot here, I'll put a dot here. Now let's go to, because this is the 0 line, let's move to 1. 1. Look at the distance. Look at the distance of 1 from the reference here to here. It's the same thing from here to what? Here. So you just measure one side, come and mark it here, come and mark it here. So you can choose to use your divider, you can choose to use your what? Your compass. Any of them, you can use it. This is the one. I'll measure from the base line to the circle, or from the top line to the what? To the circle. Yeah, the same distance. Just measure it. Listen. Then I will transfer it. Here is 0 line, here is 1 line. Then I'll transfer it, and I'll mark it. Then I'll do the same thing at the top there and mark it. Now let's see. If you divide evenly, evenly. Doing that, listen here to doing the same thing, but don't rush to go and then do it one after the other. Maybe the way you do your division might be different. It may not be an even division. They take note of that. Yeah, but to me, the way I did, 0 match with 10, 1 match with 9. Yeah, I can choose to go to the 9 column and do the same thing. So that I will not waste my time in doing that. Okay, I've done it. Now I move to 2, line 2. Listen, 2 matches with 8. I go to line 2. This is line 2. Line 2. This is line 2. 2 matches with 8. Listen. Okay. Listen. Now, then I'll come to 3. 3 matches with what? 7. Then I will measure that because my compass is too. Let's see if I can use the compass to do that. But for you, you can use it because you have the instruments in doing that. You have the divider. Yours is because this is the teaching one. Where I need to get it is too tiny. I'm using this marker to measure it so I can get the exacts. Okay, I'm transferring it here to get the points here. 7, measure, use the point here. The 2, yes, use the point here. 7, yes, use the point here. And now 4, go with 6. And are you seeing? Is the 4. It's almost exactly on the baseline. Exactly on it. And the 5 will be exactly on the middle. This is the 5. This is the what? The 5. Then now, what I'm going to do is you are going to either use your French curve or the freehand. That's where now the French curves come in. Either use your French curve or you do your freehand. Please, when you are doing, don't deepen it. Just try to then has to look like in the egg form before you dip it. So now, look, I'm going to do it. This is the center. On the top side, I base it. Listen, I'm tracing my arc where it cuts. Then this side, listen, I'm drawing the oval form. Then this place will be in the oval form. I'm using the free hand. You can choose to use the French curve. You can choose to use your free hand. Okay? Listen how I'm doing it. Please. Okay? And this place will also give me another curve point. This is the curve point. Okay? And I'm getting it well. Okay? And I close this side. Okay? Now do this one. Now are you seeing? That's the isometric circle by using the diagonal method. So this is it. We'll end it here, then we'll look at the next method another time. Then we start using them to construct isometric figures. See you in another episode of the isometric. Make sure you go to my link, ING-NABILA Joan, like it, share it, so that we'll move ahead. See you another time. Make sure you change the dimensions and do many as you want, then forward it to me.